As most of you know, I have a lot of seeds and mostly every single unit in Garden Tower defense. And in today's video, I'm going to be going from having basic units, from having the best units in the game. However, there is just one rule. I can't spend any Robux at all. That means I can't buy any game passes or any exclusive units with Robux. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get into day one. And here we go. The journey of Cactus Commando. The first thing I did was play the tutorial. Playing the tutorial actually grants me 250 seeds, which is not much, but it's honest work. It was just me and my boy Gerald the gnome, until Gerald out of nowhere threw a blood vine at my face, flexing on me. Gerald the gnome really showed me his true colors, but I knew I couldn't just let him get away with this. I'm going to destroy Gerald the gnome if it's the last thing I do. And with that, I completed the tutorial and got my 250 seeds. But Gerald was still tormenting me. He made me use my seeds that I worked so hard for just to gamble it all away. I got a bamboo. But Gerald kept forcing me to do things I didn't want to do. Gerald the gnome forced to play a game even when I didn't want to. Unfortunately, I fell into Gerald's trap. I've ended up playing on the garden map on easy mode. If I manage to beat this, I will get 150 seeds, which will be the start of something great. This was an absolute breeze. I was starting to think, is this even a challenge? This is way too easy. And with that, I took down the king snail and got the 150 seeds. When I got into the lobby, there was only one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to spend all of my seeds that I've just worked so hard for. At this point, I was definitely under a spell that Gerald the gnome put on me. I managed to get a gnome, a pineapple cannon, and another bamboo and tomato. The next thing I did was get this free reward. I also put in all working codes, which got me a total of 2,750 seeds, which is amazing. But now I had a big choice to make. Do I either gamble all the seeds on summon crates, or do I save up my seeds until I can afford a good unit? I decided to waste all of my seeds hoping to get better units, but I got absolutely nothing. And this is why you should never gamble your seeds. Now, I'm just going to play a lot of games and grind some seeds. I'm going to cut back to when I've had enough of playing games. Well, in day one, I've managed to get around 9,400 seeds. My goal is to get 50,000 seeds so I can get Petal Ray. This is also my stats so far. Let's move on to day two. For day two, I only had one goal in mind, and that was to unlock trading. To unlock trading, you need to get 25 wins, and to get wins, all you have to do is win a game. So that's what I did. For nearly 2 hours, I spent playing normal mode on the back garden map. And let me just say, it was so boring. Every game was taking up to 10 minutes, and I only had 14 wins, which means I need 11 more wins. So that's what I did. I grinded out 11 more wins. However, I made a friend on the way by the name of Nut Med Storkuck. Well, Nut for short. Nut actually helped me along the way and even helped me get a pesticide. This unit is going to be only the start of my journey, and I know it's going to help me out a lot. Unfortunately, Nut had to leave, but what he didn't realize is that he has just helped me so much on my infamous journey. And at the end of day two, I have nearly 30,000 seeds, and I'm finally able to trade. My goal for day three was to simply make 50,000 seeds so I can finally afford Petal Ray. And this really wasn't easy. It was so tedious to keep continuously playing normal on the back garden map, but finally, after a very, very long time, I finally got 50k seeds. And luckily, as soon as I went back to the lobby, the Petal Ray was in stock, and finally, my first overpowered unit, the Petal Ray. I spent the rest of day three trading for around an hour. I stood by my stall and offered for my brand new Petal Ray and my pesticide that Nut helped me get. I know most of you might be thinking, why would you trade a unit you just spent ages trying to get? Well, in my opinion, trading is the easiest way to get different units and better units. But right now, my luck wasn't good as no one was giving me trades that would benefit me or help me at all. However, the next thing I did after this changed everything. But before I reveal what happened, I now have a Discord server and it's been open for about a week. In this server, I do exclusive giveaways separate from YouTube. I also speak to a lot of you guys and help you out when I can. Even help some of you get some seeds. This server is for my community to get together and help each other out. There are many channels where you guys can talk, and even a channel just for trading. So why not join now, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you all. I started to walk around instead of sitting at my stall, until I found this guy. Jack selects 30. I requested to trade Jax, and he offered me units that I just couldn't turn down. The only unit Jax wanted was my pedal ray, and in return, they was going to give me 8 units. I ended up accepting Jax's offer, and instantly knew this was a steal. I got an Echo Sonic Bloom, a Rainbow Dandelion, Rainbow Bamboo, a Sunflower, 2 Watermelons, a Boom Bulb, a Palm Tree, and finally, a Pak Choi. I have just made over a 100 value profit in this trade. I now only have 800 seeds, and it's coming to the end of day 3. I will see you all on day 4. It is now day 4 of Roblox Garden Tower Defense Noobtopro, and we are already over halfway through this challenge. I just wanted to show you guys all these avatars. I don't know why there are so many, but I just thought it was funny. In fact, if all these people here subscribed, I would have 9 more subscribers. So take the hint and subscribe now. But anyway, I don't really have much time for day 4. However, I'm going to see if I can beat Impossible on Toxic Facility. Hopefully the units I have are good enough to beat it. I started off by placing a slingshot right where all the enemies are spawning from. And honestly, I wanted to see how good the Echo Sonic Bloom is. I placed the Echo Sonic Bloom down, and at this current moment, it is only level 1, so it's not going to do much damage. But it's not a good sign that I'm struggling so soon. I did manage to take down that mantis, but out of nowhere, there are now 2 more mantises running through, and I really don't think the Echo Sonic Bloom can take them down. The real question is, did I make a mistake by getting rid of my pedal ray? And with that, I lost. So I decided to try again, but on Tropical Island this time. It was looking pretty good so far. My units were able to take down anything that was thrown at me. Until I got to wave 39. I just wasn't able to take down this octopus. Bear in mind, it wasn't even a boss. So, with my head hanging low, I decided to go back into trading to get a lawnmower. Now, the reason I want a lawnmower is because with a lawnmower, I can do the method on the back garden map. It really didn't take long when the lawnmower was traded to me. And let me just say, Himothy is an absolute legend. They let me have the lawnmower for free. And they also decided to give me an atomic pepper and a rainbow bamboo for literally nothing. Himothy was an absolute blessing in disguise, and I will never forget this kindness they've shown. I then added Himothy and ended day 4 there. It's day 5, and as you know, I'm going to be doing the lawnmower method. However, I actually managed to get X2 seeds of an hour because I got enough XP to unlock it. But I'm not going to use it just yet. The method is simple. You just load up into the back garden map and choose the impossible difficulty. You just pretty much have to place lawnmowers whenever the enemies get close until you get to this little enemy and lose. Then do it all over again. From doing this method, you get around 700 seeds in around 2 minutes, which is pretty good so far. I did this for around 30 minutes, until I actually went back into trading and got an amazing trade. I was getting a total of 6 brand new units just for my 2, and the value of the units I was getting was much better than the ones I already had, like the Spore Fang and the Stunflower. I decided to accept this trade and then straight back to placing my lawnmowers again. However, this time I actually enabled 2 times seeds and played for over an hour. I played game after game after game and didn't stop, until I finally had enough and went back to the lobby. I managed to get a total of 71,000 seeds. Now that is absolutely insane. I already know what I'm going to do with these seeds. Buy another pedal ray. It's 100% the best value for what I'm getting. But anyway, that's all for day 5. Let's move on to day 6. I started off day 6 with buying the pedal ray, and then I tried to beat Tropical Island on Impossible. And to my surprise, I was successful. From going to struggling to beat insane on the garden map, to now beating impossible on Tropical Island is a massive improvement. However, I wanted to further test myself. I decided to turn it up a notch. Now that I can beat impossible on Tropical Island, I wanted to see if I could beat Toxic Facility on impossible. Now this is going to be one of the biggest tests so far, so let's find out if I could or not. I managed to make it all the way to wave 40, however. I lost.
Nope.
The units I had just still wasn't strong enough yet. So I decided to go back to Tropical Island and keep beating it until I get enough for, yet again, another Petal Ray. I've realized while making this video that Petal Ray is in fact one of the easiest units to get and holds a lot of value. It's the last day, day 7. I managed to get 50,000 seeds, but unfortunately there's no Petal Ray in stock. I'm going to spend the last day trading. Yep, I said it. I'm going back to trading and going to put all my units on the line to see what profit I can make. But before I do that, let's spend these 50,000 seeds.
Super Idol 的笑容都没你的甜，8月正午的阳光都没你耀眼，热爱105度的你，滴滴。
Out of the 50,000 seeds I spent, I actually managed to get 2 range leafs, which is amazing. Now it's time to spend all my time in trading. So I stood there waiting for absolutely anyone to trade me. After changing servers and waiting 40 minutes, I had made no trades. Well, people was trading me, however, they just kept declining for 40 minutes straight. I knew that this tactic just waiting at my booth wasn't working, so I decided to switch it up. I decided instead of waiting for the trades to come to me, I would go to the trades. So that's what I did. And not long after, I made my first trade. And then I made my second trade, and my third trade, my fourth trade, my fifth trade, my sixth trade. I was trying to find just one more trade, but unfortunately I couldn't. And with that, the 7-day challenge on Garden Tower Defense has come to an end. I've ended up with some pretty good units, and I'm proud of what I've built. I forgot what it's like when you first start off Garden Tower Defense, but now I know. This journey was not at all easy. I had moments where I just wanted to stop playing. However, the main thing is that I had fun. I enjoyed the new experience from having nothing to something. I would like to note everyone's journey is going to be different. We all will experience different things while playing, but there is one thing we all will experience, and that is the friends we make along our own journey.